Hello, dear students. Let us continue with the atom chapter. So, in the last video, we have studied some of the concepts. So, first, we studied Thomson's model of atom, alpha particle scattering experiment. So, in that alpha particle scattering experiment, we studied alpha particle trajectory. So, we have some of the definitions, so that is impact parameter and distance of closest approach. So let us have the brief glance of last video so that you can get to the next points. So the observations of alpha particle scattering experiment are, so in that experiment most of the alpha particles passed through the gold foil undeflected. Some of the alpha particles, about 0.1% of the incident alpha particles, they were deflected through small angles. Also, we studied a few alpha particles. Let us take 1 in 8,000 or 9,000 were deflected through large angles, maybe greater than 90 degree. Some of them even retraced their path, that is, angle of deflection was 180 degree. So also we studied the graph, that is between number of alpha particles scattering at an angle theta, also angle of scattering. So we have the relation between them. N of theta is directly proportional to 1 divided by sin raised to 4 theta by 2. So these are the observations of gold foil experiment. Also we made some of the conclusions. So as most of the alpha particles pass through the gold foil undeflected, it indicates the most of the space in an atom is empty. So alpha particles being positively charged and having large mass compared to an electron, so could only be deflected backwards by some large repulsive force. And due to the positively charged region. So Rutherford concluded that the positive charges in an atom, they were concentrated in a very small region, that too at the center of the atom. So Rutherford named this heavy and positively charged region as nucleus, or you can take atomic nucleus. The alpha particles suffering small deflection would have passed close to the nucleus. Also, one more conclusion from the gold foil experiment is the alpha particle which travel towards the nucleus directly, it get repelled due to Coulomb's force of repulsion and ultimately come to rest, and then fly off in the opposite direction due to the repulsive force between alpha particle and the nucleus. So also we studied alpha particle trajectory. So in that we studied the impact parameter definition. It is the perpendicular distance of the velocity vector of the incident alpha particle from the center of the nucleus when alpha particle is not deflected, so is known as impact parameter. So go through the last video, you will get the idea how we can define the impact parameter. So also we studied a distance of closest approach. So it is the minimum distance. So we studied this as when the alpha particle is directly approaching the nucleus. At that point the kinetic energy is completely converted into potential energy. At that point alpha particle stops and retrace its path, or it will come back. That minimum distance up to which an energetic alpha particle traveling directly towards a nucleus can move before coming to rest and then retracing its path is known as distance of closest approach. So as I mentioned, so using this we can estimate the size of the nucleus. So also some of the important conclusions of Rutherford nuclear model of atom are, almost all of the mass of the atom, also the positive charges of an atom, are concentrated in a very small region known as atomic nucleus. So the size of the nucleus is extremely small. It is about 10 to the power minus 15 meter as compared to the size of the atom. So the size of the atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meters. The negatively charged particles known as electrons revolve around but away from the nucleus. So most of the space in an atom is empty. So these are the observations of Rutherford nuclear model of atom. Now let us study some of the drawbacks of Rutherford model of atom. The first drawback of Rutherford model of atom is it failed to explain the stability of the atom. It could not explain the stability of the atom. So we know that the electron revolving around the nucleus, so the electron will revolve around the nucleus. So according to Rutherford explanation, so here what happens, so the electron revolving around the nucleus, it must lose energy continuously. As a result of this, the radius of the path of the electron should go on decreasing and ultimately it should fall into the nucleus, followed by a spiral path. As you can observe in the slide, so we have electron. So this electron is revolving around the nucleus. So it will emit some electromagnetic radiation. It means what? It is continuously losing the energy. So because of that reason, so it may eventually falls into the nucleus, so followed by a spiral path. So as such, no atom should exist, but in fact it never happens. The electron keep on revolving around the nucleus without falling into it. Rutherford could not explain this fact. So this is what the one of the drawback of Rutherford model of atom, about the stability of the atom. So second one is it failed to explain the complex spectrum emitted by an atom. So according to Rutherford, atom can emit continuous energy spectrum. However, even the simplest atom, that is hydrogen atom, has line spectrum instead of a continuous spectrum. Hence, Rutherford model of atom could not explain the spectrum of an atom. So we'll study spectrum in the next video. So these are the two drawbacks of Rutherford model of atom. So one is it could not explain the stability of the atom. Also, it failed to explain the complex spectrum emitted by an atom. Now let us study some of the basic expressions for electron orbits. Okay, so we'll study the electron orbits. So that is with respect to the radius of the orbit, also the kinetic energy, potential energy, also the total energy. So according to Rutherford nuclear model of the atom, which involves the concepts, also the pictures of the atom as an atom is electrically neutral sphere. It consisting of a small, massive and positively charged nucleus at the center, and it is surrounded by revolving electrons. So the electrons are revolving in their respective stable orbits. So the electrostatic force of attraction between the revolving electrons and the nucleus provides the necessary centripetal force to keep them in their orbits. So because of that reason only, the electron is revolving around the nucleus. So now we have the centripetal force, also the electrostatic force. The centripetal force is given by mv square divided by r. Also the electrostatic force 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught E square divided by R square. So you can mention Z E square also. So because we are considering for hydrogen atom, so Z equal to 1. So therefore it is E square divided by R square. So cancel R here. So we'll get the expression for radius of electron orbit as E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into mv square. So this is the expression for the radius of electron orbit. So next we'll have the expression for kinetic energy and electrostatic potential energy of the electron in hydrogen atom. So the basic expression for kinetic energy is given by, as you know, half mv square. So let us substitute the value of mv square from the previous equation. So we'll get the kinetic energy expression as it is E square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So similarly we have the potential energy, so that is minus E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So here the potential energy is negative. The negative sign signifies that the electrostatic force is in the r direction. So the total energy is given by E is equal to K plus U. It is the sum of potential energy, also kinetic energy. So when I add these two energy, I will get the expression as minus E square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So now observe the kinetic energy and the total energy expression is same, but change in magnitude. So the total energy is also negative. The negative sign indicates that electron is bound to the nucleus, as the planets are bound to the sun. So if the total energy, if it is positive, an electron will not follow a closed orbit around the nucleus. So this is what the expression for the total energy. Thank you. Continue in the next video.